VA3 AXJ.
Oh, Mike Oscar.
VA3 OYL.
Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey.
Victor Alpha 3 November Charlie Alpha.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck. There, I missed last week's there. I'm pretty miserable and sore. Anyhow, I got lots to say. But last Thursday morning, playing with my cat, and we were rep playing, and he actually put a hole in my arm, in my forearm. I've been going through hell with that. Oh, his claw ripped me wide open. Oh man. Like, it's just, that was last Thursday morning. And it's just like today, I can actually start moving my arm. Like my elbow joint, I can actually start moving it. Yeah, well, from my elbow to my hand, it swelled up like a balloon. So I held off to see the doctor until I went up. Actually, I went up yesterday, and he says, "Yeah, you gotta go to the merge." So he faxed right to Zuravinsky, to the emergency ward, and I went right in, and I took a number, I sat down, and got right back up, and I went, and the doctor pushed on it. And I tell you, the stuff to come out of that thing, it must have been an ounce and a half of pus and gunk. Oh, God Almighty! And he really hammered it down. He really pushed it out, eh? No surgery. It'll stitch an animal bite, eh? He said this probably won't.
Better?
It won't close for at least probably 6 to 8 months. It'll be open. It'll take forever to close.
Oh, really, eh? Wow. Yeah, that's terrible. Geez, I don't know what to say. Well, make sure you stay healthy and heal quickly.
I got a bunch of antibiotics I got to take for 10 days, and it doesn't feel too bad now, but every so often I'll bump my arm, man. Like, Jesus, right, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, Rick. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll get back around to you in a bit. If there's anything you need to tell us urgently there, just break in. So we'll clear with you, and let's go and say hello to VE3 BMO. Pierre, come on in.
Yep. Thanks for doing the net, and managed to hang in there just barely, but I'm here. And probably won't be here on the next go around there, Chuck. So I'm gonna say thanks again, and hi everybody on that bean for the pot, like they say.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, listen, before you go, how many parks did you do today?
I think I did 4 parks today. That last one was alright. Another 80 something contacts. And thanks for being one of them.
Yeah, you bet. I saw you there on the page when I was checking, and I think it was a four for. So I forget which one you were at there, 55, 68 maybe. But right on. The only thing is, I still haven't managed to um, log a new park in over a couple of weeks yet. I'm still stuck at 666 parks hunted.
Yeah, it gets a little harder when the numbers get higher, right? But you'll get them. It changes all the time. It has for me. And that's how I end up with a lot of parks. And yeah, then you get all your states and all that kind of stuff too. So it's kind of cool.
Right on, right on. Well, you're a trooper, that's for sure. Keeps us old farts at home there on our toes. So thanks for doing it. And geez, yeah, you're just what about a year and a half into doing it, and you got quite the numbers racked up there, Pierre. Very good.
Yes, sir. I've been busy, that's for sure. Over 650 activations and 25,000 QSOs. But anyways, Chuck, I don't want to hold it up too long. Go ahead and I'll listen as long as I can. If I'm around the next go around, I'll jump in.
Okay, very good. Thanks again, Pierre. And yeah, relax, sit back, kick back, and keep your hands and feet inside the cars at all time. And next, let's go say hello to Debbie in the West End, VA3 OYL. Debbie, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck and all on nets. I was in your neighborhood today, Chuck. I was in the
Oh,
Center Mall area taking my dog to get groomed, so he's a handsome dude now. I've been busy. I'm getting ready for an open house. A family member passed away, and I'm a couple years ago, but she was an artist, and I'm giving away her art. She wanted her art to get given away to all her friends. So that's what's going to happen here. So trying to figure out how I'm going to set everything up and, yada, yada, yada. Other than that, no time for radio. And that's about it.
oh, okay, very good. Yeah, it's quite the event. They're selling anything, but especially a big ticket item like that. You want to make sure everything is as right as it can be, and you want to come out on top, right? So, yeah, we missed you last week. Hopefully, you weren't having a headache, but nonetheless, welcome back.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm giving away the art to the friends. Not selling it, but
Ah,
a lot of it's textiles,
okay.
weavings, and stuff like that. But there's all kinds of art in there. Yeah, I haven't been on. I managed to listen not to this net, but to ZOE one night for a half hour or something, but that was about it. That's the way it goes when you're busy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, forgive me there for misunderstanding what you're saying. You're giving the art away. So very good. You're such a either you're very kind-hearted or you just don't have enough room anymore. So, anyways, yeah. Geez, I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's right. I hope you got your glasses for Monday. They are calling for Sunday being complete sun, no clouds, and Monday a mix of sun and clouds. So we'll know more as the weekend approaches, I think. And but yeah, it's coming. We got ours from the library there, so we're all good to go.
Yeah, no, it was the final wishes of the person that passed away to give her art away. So, um, I'm
Oh,
respecting
geez.
that. No, I don't have any glasses. I have no desire to look at the sun. What I like is um, just sort of experiencing everything going dark. And
Yeah.
1 year I was along the Lake Ontario, when there was an eclipse, and everything, the birds and everything went quiet, and the water went still. It was just amazing to see.
Yeah, definitely. Just being outside, you don't have to be wanting to look at the sun. Although I did see a video with a lady. She had a pair of glasses on the lens of her cell phone, and she was, I guess, filming the eclipse with a pair, with the one eye of the eclipse glass over the lens of the phone. There, I thought that was pretty interesting. I wonder if that would work. So. Yeah, I don't know, but it definitely is going to be neat just before and during and right after. Of course, like you say, everything, all the animals are going to get confused, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I hope the weather's good. I think people are going a little crazy this time, though. They're talking about a state of emergency in Niagara Falls because of all the
Yeah,
people they're going to have there, and um,
I
yeah,
know.
it's just it's wild. It'll be fun to see the pictures on the internet and read some of the stories.
Yeah, I know, right? They're state of emergency in Niagara, and they had to bring in extra cell towers to accommodate all the internet traffic because people can get very upset if they lose internet, and who knows what would happen then. Can you imagine a big riot in Niagara Falls? Um, yeah, expecting 1 million people. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's going to be busy.
Yeah, for sure. I think Fort Erie, well, Fort Erie's not much, but I think it's in the path too. I can't remember. But
Yeah,
I'm happy to just stay here. Maybe go out into a open field or a park or something where it's a little more open and just be, just experience it, and hopefully there'll be some other people around experiencing it at the same time. And it'll be fun having a chat about it, and yeah. And then I can say I can get the T-shirt that I saw it. Oh, I didn't see it, but I experienced it.
yeah, yeah. Very good there, Deb. One more thing before I move on there. I also noticed something weird on the QRZ webpage. For the last few days, every now and again, it shows that there's no solar flux index. I'm actually look at it right now. I was checking before the net, and it has a zero solar flux index and only 45 sunspots. That's what it's showing right now. I just refreshed the page, and all the bands are in the red except for 40 to 80. They're both good in the daytime and nighttime. You ever recall seeing the solar flux being at zero?
No, that is weird. I I wonder what the explanation for that is.
Yeah, I'll have to watch some YouTube videos there. Maybe the space weather lady knows. Okay, Deb. Thank you so much for checking in. Are you going to stick around?
Yes, I'm gonna stick around. Yeah, one more comment. I wonder if there's any activity or any influence because there's going to be an eclipse. Who knows, right? Yeah, I'm going to be listening along the same as every week I'm on. If I'm not here during my turn, I'm down having a snack.
All right, having a Scooby snack. Very good, Deb. Thanks again. Until we talk to you next round, let's go say hello to Mac, VA3IMW.
Oh my goodness, is it my turn already? Good evening, Charles, and everybody else. Hey, I gotta say, I love Deb's sense of, common sense. Solar eclipse. Don't look at it. Save your eyes. You'll need them for another day. But experiencing what happens with partial or even totality. I'm not going to be looking upwards. 3:15 in the afternoon, I'm going to be still busy doing what I'm doing during my normal workday. It would be interesting for anybody who has a fairly decent setup on either 20, 17, 15, or 12 meters to actually monitor the beacon stations and document what happens when the totality occurs. That certainly would be a very, very beneficial scientific experiment. So if you plotted your signal reports for the various beacons around the world on a specific band, and I think ARRL is looking for people to submit data during that's observed during the eclipse portion, before, during, and after. So there are some intense experimentation opportunities there. So if you have time, which I don't, and motivation, which I probably don't either, but it's all good. I'm sure somebody will be out there and measuring this, that, and the other. Other than that, it was nice to see what you got at the beginning of the net there, Chuck. That's like 5% of a pileup that you're going to get when you finally get out and activate a park with Pierre. And I'm really looking forward to hearing that. Parks on the air with VE3BMO and VA3CJZ. You got to do it, Chuck. You really do.
I'm pretty sure it's going to happen this summer at one point. But yeah, for the time being, I'm kind of housebound, partially, medical reasons. So, but anyways, very good. Oh, look at that. Kevin, KKP, just came in on YouTube with breaking news. Trudeau has canceled the solar eclipse until he figures out how to tax us for it. Oh, that's hilarious. Way to go, Kevin. Thank you so much. We will put you in the log there, Kevin. Thank you so much. And yeah, well, you're going to be busy making the big bucks there. So the rest of us can stay home.
Oh, well, that's the burden that we all carry. Anyways, yeah. If it was a weekend or something like that, I would probably be outside and, like Deb, experience the thing. And I can even remember back in school days, very young school days, they were teaching us how to construct a eclipse viewing box. It was basically a sheet of white paper on one side of the box and a pinhole in the opposite side of the box. And you would look at the sheet of paper and point the pinhole on the back side of the box towards the eclipse, and you would get kind of a reflected image of what was actually going on. So, all right, class, take out your black craft paper and tear off a clean sheet, put it on the desk in front of you, and I want you to take that loonie out of your pocket and reach into your fresh box of Crayola crayons, take out your sharpest orange crayon, and trace a very faint circle of orange around the loonie on the black paper. Okay, once you have completed that task, now lift the loonie off the paper and take a look at what you've got in front of you. You've just created your own personal edition of a full totality solar eclipse.
They didn't have loonies when you were in school. VA3 and CA.
There you go.
That's right. They didn't. I remember when I was in the carnival and the loony came out. Well, my goodness, when you go on a carnival ride, it shakes everything off of you, and quarters, nickels, dimes, sure. And then the loony came out. Oh my gosh, woo! What a payday for the ride jocks. Anyways, Mac, I saw a guy do that with a cereal box. He cut out the one side, made a pinhole, the whole thing. It's pretty simple. Get yourself a family size cereal box there and cut out a portion and stick the paper on the other side. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yep, that's right. That's right. And don't forget your tinfoil hat. Anyways, Rick, just by the way, I hope your arm heals really quickly. And I just had the absolute urge to ask what you did with the carcass of the cat.
I got the cat here still. He's all vaccinated and he's good. So I'm not worried about any infection. It's just that, it's sore. Very painful.
Yeah, QSL. As you can tell, I'm not really a cat person. I'm more of a dog person, but anyways, yes, I don't think I would be as loving to an animal that inflicted such a vicious wound. Anyways, like I say, hope you recover really quickly. And one of the two of you has got to learn a lesson from that. Anyways, all right, Chuck, I'll let you go ahead and pick up a bunch more. I'm sure there's going to be a whole stack behind us because I've already taken up too much time. Back to you.
No such thing. Unless you take up 2 hours, then it's too much time. But before I go to Wade, I'd like to see if anyone else would like to check in with us with the weekly amateur radio exchange group. This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Alpha 3 Tango Mike, Tom in Burlington. Just listening along, Chuck.
Okay, very good, Tom in Burlington. Nice signal, great audio, Tom. All right, well then let's bring in Wade. Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA, good evening, Chuck, and good evening, everyone on net. It was a work from work day, so didn't really get a chance to do much radio, except for when I got home, in the mail was the little circuit boards that I had ordered from the Chinese board fab for making a CW key, a little touch-sensitive CW key. So it's a pretty simple project, so I knocked that off between getting home and before the net started tonight. So playing around with that a little bit. It's my quest to learn CW, so I got to work on that. And on top of that, my little circuit board modification for the UV5R radio to extend the receive range down to 40 meters. Wow, it looks even smaller in person. The pictures are small, but that is tiny. So I am going to have to get some serious light and some serious magnification before I get up the nerve to put some melted solder in that thing. But I'm going to give it a shot. It's at least going to be worth the experience. So we'll see how I do. Not sure when I'll get around to it, but it's definitely at the top of my project pile. So there is that. And he may or may not be listening on YouTube, but at work today, did talk to a coworker who I've been trying to convince to go get his basic. He's a GMRS guy right now, but Michael, if you're listening, if you tuned into the net, hi from all of us. And you got to get your ham license. That's where all the fun is. And other than that, coming up for the solar eclipse day, hope the weather's good because I did take the day off. So I'm going to go ahead and try and activate a park on the eclipse day. And Mac, you mentioned somebody setting up or monitoring a beacon. There's actually a group doing that, Whiskey 8 Echo Delta Uniform, Whiskey 8 EDU. They're the club station at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio, and they're actually asking for signal reports monitoring the CHU time source. So they're trying to get reports on signal to the Canadian time source CHU. So if you go to their website, W8 Echo Delta Uniform.wordpress.com, there's more information. Plus, there's the Hamsci guys that are doing something else. So before I time this out, oh, no, wait a minute. We're not on a repeater, and so I'm not going to time it out, but I will send it back to you nonetheless. Back to you there. My radio is giving me a hassle. Back to you there, Chuck, via 3 NCA.
There you go. The radio timed out before the non-repeater. There is no repeater here. By the way, yes, that's right, Michael, and anyone listening on YouTube or on the radio that they might have with them. It's a lot of fun being a licensed amateur operator. And if you want to practice for an exam, I suggest you open up the Google webpage, search engine, and just type in amateur radio practice exam. And a page will come up with the Canadian practice exam webpage, and you can go on there, and it's free. You don't have to log or sign up or anything, and test your knowledge. See how many you can get right, and redo it over and over again. And after a while, there it'll stick into your memory, and you'll be able to write the test, no problems. Okay, and also I'd like to acknowledge everyone who checked in on YouTube. I did not mention who it was, but I do have Wade. He checked in there, and so did Wayne B. In Mississauga, VA3FMB. Good evening there, Wayne B. Bill, VE3IUK, checked in. And by the way, Bill, congratulations. I heard that you got your Pac-12 and your Quanshang UV-K5, or K6, I should say. And so very good. They're getting pretty quick, but I have one item I bought from that company, or through AliExpress, that I'm still waiting for over 30 days now. So good thing I didn't spend more than a couple of bucks on it. So we'll have to see how that works out. And then we have Kevin, also VE3KKP. And just going back to Wade, before I move on there, you mentioned that kit that you got there, but you said it was for the UV5R. Did you mean the Quanshang?
Yeah, no, sorry, absolutely. The UV, I guess that's the K5 bracket 8 bracket, or otherwise known as K6. Yeah, I usually, I don't know, I'm in the habit of when I start off with UV, I don't know, the Baofeng kicks in, and I ended off with 5R. So that was me misspeaking. It is for the Quanshang for sure. And it is a tiny, tiny little board. And what's even worse than the tiny little board is that they've got really small surface mount resistors. That's going to be the tough part. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, little jumpers I got to wire, little resistors I got to wire. It's going to be an interesting attempt, but I'll give it my best shot. And I got 2 of them, but I'd really like to keep one functional. So 2 of the radios, one of the boards. So I'd like to not, wreck one and have to move on to the other. Although I guess they're easy to get. So there's that going for us. Other than that, I'll add to the ISED or Industry Canada, previously Industry Canada. Resources for studying are really, really good. I second that motion, but also suggest that if you look at hamstudy.org, it's hamstudy, one word, .org, they have a very good offering that will let you do any of the Canadian tests and any of the American tests if you're so interested. You select which one, and it'll do flashcards for you, and it'll tell you the percentage of the question pool that you've seen, and it'll also give you an indication of aptitude towards answering them. And usually you're about ready to take the test once you've seen 100% of the questions with about an 80% or better aptitude. Plus it does practice tests, so that and the Industry Canada site, and you could anybody listening here could knock off the exam pretty well. With that, I'll send it back to you, and you can pick up Tom behind me and whoever else wants to join us for AREG. Back to you there, Chuck. Thanks for picking me up. VA3NCA.
Okay, very good there, Wade. And Bill has a question for you on the YouTube stream. And for anyone just tuning in, you can go to YouTube and watch the stream live. Just put in my call sign in the YouTube search. Again, it's VA3CJZ. And so you can join us on YouTube there. And so let's drop in real quick, say hi to Tom, see how he's doing. Where did I put that call sign now? VA3 Tango Mike.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Chuck. I am receiving the last station fairly rough. Of course, I'm working on a J pole down here on the edge of the bay and facing due south with the building in the way, so I didn't get too much of what he said. I heard the word Quansheng, and I've got a Quansheng here that I got in 2 weeks, and I also ordered the TID radio, TID, Tom, item, David, radio, TID radio, wireless Bluetooth programmer, and it works like a charm with the iPad and the iPhone. So I was able to program the radio without getting into chirp or anything like that. It just works like a charm. Over.
Yes, absolutely, Tom. I've seen those through a couple of big stores there. I think Amazon has the wireless and the other AliExpress there. And I've been wondering if I should pull the trigger on it and see which one's a better one or what have you. But right on, I've heard good things about it. And the other party that see, that's the reason why I stream on YouTube, because not everyone can hear everyone else on Simplex. And so that was Wade out in Dundas, VA3NCA, and he purchased a mod kit for the new Quansheng UVK6 radios that have come out. And this will allow the radio to go even wider with the reception down 20 meters and down. So, yeah, quite interesting. For $30 for a radio, and if you're decent at soldering, and you can do the mod and have it expanded. Are you there, Tom?
Turn it back to me, VA3TM.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So very good then, Tom. Well, thanks for joining us. And you're coming in great to my location. I'm just 2 2 streets south of the Center Mall in Hamilton, and you're coming across just fine there.
Well, of course, I can see it from here, Chuck. I'm facing right across the bay, so no, I'd be interested in that other chap's work on the mod. Not that I could do it; I don't have the eyesight or the hands, steady hands to do that. But that's quite a mod. But there are other firmware hacks that are out there now that will do the same thing, apparently. So we'll look forward to seeing what happens. Over.
Yeah. I think people are just trying to get the most out of it because there are hardware limitations, and so this is a kit, and it's hardware. So you add another piece of hardware, and it expands it even more. But with those firmwares, yeah, they're awesome. I love it. I've got 2 of those right here on my desk. So yeah, you might even be able to see them on the YouTube stream there when I change pictures, change cameras, I should say. All right. Well, thank you very much, Tom, and I do appreciate your check-in, sir. And let's see who else is out there would like to join us on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG. My name is Chuck, and my call sign is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu.
Victor Echo 3 Kilo Mike Quebec.
Victor Echo 3 Kilo Mike Quebec. Mike, come on in. I heard you calling DX the other day.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net. And hello to Tom there, who was just ahead of me there. Anyway, yeah, I was doing a lot of contesting this past weekend on the CQ Worldwide single sideband net, and a lot of fun. Racked up a lot of contacts, was tired, had to take numerous breaks. But all in all, it was a very successful weekend with that. But anyway, just a check-in, not an awful lot going on. I'm trying to tidy up the shack a little bit down here. It's forever papers here, papers there, and trying to move stuff from here to there, and you know the way it goes.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending job, it seems. Anyway, back to you there, Chuck. B3KMQ.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't take much to get it looking like it needs straightening. I know. Same over here. We have a space issue, so you do what you can with the space that you have. Really wish I had a garage, but we don't. Anyways, Mike, well, thank you so much for checking in, and of course, you great signal, great audio. And I didn't participate in this this contest that just went by, but I did earlier in the month of March there on the 3rd. Racked up a whole bunch of new countries. So in the last month, I've gotten well, out of that contest, I got 6 new countries, and last week I got one new one that confirmed me. So once you get to a certain number there, the the countries become a little bit more difficult, and you got to pay attention to the DX spotting maps and see who's out there to nab those guys. But I think I will be joining some of the contests going on this weekend. I'll be getting into that there in a few minutes. And there's quite a few of them. There's the Georgia and Florida CUSO State Park parks on the air, I think, and a bunch more CUSOs and a bunch of contests. Anyways, there, Mike. Thanks again. Anything else?
Yeah, just a comment on the contest. You're right, there are quite a few this weekend. I think there's also one from Poland. And, of course, there's also one on Monday for the solar eclipse that I saw on the contest calendar on Monday. But, yeah, also as far as countries, yeah, it's always nice chasing new countries. I managed to get one that was, I think you would consider to be fairly elusive. and that was Nicaragua. And so I managed to work that station. I don't know, it was a couple of weeks ago, I guess it was, but that was quite the thing, a thrill to get that one actually. Anyway, I won't hold it, Chuck. Always good talking to you. Thanks for taking my check-in, and hope you have a good week upcoming. And we'll talk to you again. VA3CJZ, VE3KMQ.
Very good there, Mike. Yeah, thank you so much for checking in. And you're right. Central and South America has a couple of countries there that you don't see popping up too often. They're probably trying to get away from the armed guerrillas going through the jungles and making cocaine or whatever. Uh, but yeah, some of those countries they don't come on very often. Very good then. Okay, so we'll clear with VE3 Kilo Mike Quebec. And before I take any other check-ins, let's get right into the contests coming up this weekend. And Mike was right. There is a solar eclipse QSO party. So we'll start with that one. Now, the geographic focus, of course, is North America, but the participation is worldwide. And the modes are CW, phone, and digital. And the bands are 6 meter, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Now, the time that starts is 1400 Zulu until 2400 Zulu. So, if I'm not mistaken, that's 10 a.m. on Monday until 8 p.m. So, yeah, for 10 hours. Yeah, very good. So, yeah, good luck, everyone. I was thinking of actually putting a camera in front like I do for the net here and just monitor one of the bands while I go outside and experience the eclipse if the weather permits, and come back in and see what I've recorded. And I'm not exactly sure yet, but I'm thinking of doing that. All right, so that's the solar eclipse QSO party. Let's go to the top here, and we have the YBDXPI. I do believe that's Indonesia. And that's for 2 days, starting on Friday night or Saturday Zulu time. And that is for sideband only, 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. That's for 2 days. That one's the biggest one. And the next are, all the other ones are shorter. I think this was the Polish one that Mike was talking about, the PODXS 070 Club PSK 31 Flavors Contest. Whoa. Okay. Oh, yeah, that has modes I've never seen before. BPSK 31, QPSK 31, BPSK 63. Wow. QPSK 63, BPSK 125, and finally QPSK 125, and that's for 20 meters only. Then we have an RTTY contest for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. After that, we have the Georgia State Parks on the Air. Any bands except the work bands, and any mode for the Georgia State Parks on the Air. And after that, we have an FT4 contest. We have the RSGB FT4 International Activity Day. So those of you doing FT4, that's open for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. After that, we have the Louisiana QSO party. And that's for CW, digital, and phone. And the bands are 2 meters, 6, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. That's for the Louisiana QSO party. Next, we have the Mississippi QSO Party, and that's for CW, single sideband, RTTY, FT4, and FT8. And the bands are 2 meter, 6, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, 160. That's the Mississippi QSO Party. Next, we have the Missouri QSO Party, and that's for CW, phone, and digital. And the bands are VHF, UHF, 10 meter, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. That's the Missouri QSO Party. You'll have to check the contest calendar website for all the times that it's on, because they're all different times, a lot of them. And then finally, we have the Florida State Parks on the Air for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. And it's for any mode. So that's the Florida State Parks on the Air, not a QSO party. So lots to check out. You want more info? Open up your browser and go to contestcalendar.com. Get all the info on the times, rules, and all that fun stuff. All right, with that, let's see if there's anybody waiting in the wings that would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ looking for check-ins.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
All right, I hear Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform. Tom, come on in. How are you?
E3CJZ, good evening, Chuck and everybody else on the net here. I'm doing just fine this evening here, just staying indoors and not going anywhere. Lots and lots of rain there, so yeah, just wanted to add a bean to the pot here. Had a shower, get my clothes all ready for tomorrow for work, and yeah, I just turned the radio on the last 10 minutes.
Oh, very good. Welcome to the net there, Tom. And looks like your vehicle is also going to get a shower, unless you have a garage, of course.
Yeah, kind of disappointing there. I washed my vehicle there the other day, and now it rains. Oh well, it is what it is. But how's my signal tonight, there, Chuck? I know you're. Looks like on the handy-talkie there, you're full scale.
Yeah, very good there, Tom. You are doing good. Actually, 9 plus. So just over 9, probably 10. 10 over S9. So you're sounding good tonight, Tom.
Thanks, Chuck. Yeah, nothing else to do at this end. I'm just sitting here, and I'll be listening along. I won't be back for another QSO there, so I'm just gonna sit there and listen to the enjoying the news there.
Okay, very good, Tom. And do appreciate your check-in. So yeah, they're talking about mixed precipitation overnight. So you might wake up to see a little bit of that yucky stuff on the ground there. Anyhow, thanks again, Tomas. Do appreciate your check-in. VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. Anyone else out there would like to check in with us on week 1594 of the AREG Net Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Anyone with a valid license is welcome. Please come now. Okay, I did hear something, but it wasn't clear enough to make out. Can someone relay for me, please? I guess no one else hears someone breaking in then?
Hello, everyone out there.
Yeah, go ahead again with your call sign, please. Man, that's tough. I don't hear anyone. Mac, are you there?
Papa Papa Foxtrot. Hello, everyone out there.
VE3, take it. JP, I'm here.
VE3, Papa Foxtrot. Is that right?
VA3. You got the last three right, but it's VA3. Papa Papa Foxtrot. I'm on a handheld.
All right, very good, Peter. I got you in that time there. Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Hamilton here on a Bullfang handheld there. I'm just getting myself ready to go to work, and I heard Sing On.
All right, Peter. It's been a while since I've heard you check in here, and so I hope everything is well. You're going into work, so you're picking up a night shift then, are you?
Yes, sir. I'm on rotating shifts every week. It's always different. That's why I haven't been on too much. Always burnt out.
Yeah, I hear you. And then you got the guys that got to get up at 4:30 in the morning, or even earlier. Uh, Especially people who are bakers. They always get up early. Anyhow, Peter, thanks for checking in there.
Yep, no problem. I work at a bakery too, so on Mondays I get up sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Ah, there we go. See, I thought so. Very good then. All right. Well, other than that, everything going okay with you and the family?
Absolutely. I just wanted to key up because I heard you out there, and I just haven't been on in a while, so I wanted to make my presence known again there.
All right. Very good. Hey, listen, I heard Kevin in there, VE3KKP. Maybe he wants to say hi there. Kevin, you there?
Yeah, finally made it back to the radio there, Chuck. Quick check-in for you there. Yeah, not much to add to that. No, I thought you were having a problem there hearing people, so I threw out my call as I just got back sitting down here in the shack.
All right. Very good then, Kevin. I thought maybe you were responding to Peter there. He was pretty rough at first, but he's coming in pretty good now. So, um, uh, but thanks anyways. Okay, Peter, you got anything else for us for the net there, my friend?
No, just everyone out there, drive safe. We're having really bad weather right now, so let's try and remember our roads are really slippery.
Absolutely. Amen to that. And stop following so closely. That's another pet peeve of mine, especially in wet, slippery conditions. You're just asking to slip into someone's behind. And we don't want that. Anyhow, you too, Peter, you take care. And nice to hear you in there. Like I said, it's been a while.
Yes, sir. VA3, Papa Papa Foxtrot. I'll be monitoring this eyes. I'm heading off to work.
Okay, Peter. As a matter of fact, I think the last time you checked in with me, I used to write down the call signs on paper, and I've since switched over to doing it on a logging software on the computer there. So, yeah, it's been a while. Take care. VA3 Papa Foxtrot. Don't be a stranger. And if you ever want to watch any of our nets there, Peter, you can go to YouTube, punch in my call sign, and you'll see a whole whack of nets that I've recorded. We're streaming live right now.
Okay, I'll look into that there. Like I say, you guys have a good night. I'm going to head in and get my rest of my clothes on and head out.
All righty then. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care. All right. Anyone else out there, excuse me, that's listening that would like to check in with us here on our weekly amateur radio exchange group net? This is VA3CJZ. All right. It's always tough getting that number 13 in there, eh? We're currently at number 12, but that's okay. Um, no word from RPAT. Does anyone have any news? I know Mac usually has news on RPAD there. When is his 14 days up? Oh, Mac, are you there? VA3IMW? Must be taking a little bit longer to boil that water for his hot chocolate. Okay, one more time. Anyone else out there wishing to check in with us here on the weekly AREG Net, please come now. All right, so I guess that means we're going to move on to the other portion of the net, and we're going to do a little bit of fun bits of trivia. I have a bunch here that you may find interesting. I know I'll read off the ones I like, and I think you might too. And so let's start off with that. 100 fun bits of trivia. So apparently, there's a reservoir in space that holds 140 trillion times the amount of water on the Earth, in the Earth's oceans. So a reservoir that holds 140 trillion times the amount of water we have here on Earth. And I just found that recently, actually, if I'm not mistaken. It says that NASA has found some pretty incredible things in space, and that includes a floating reservoir of water that holds the equivalent of, like I said, 140 trillion. What makes it even more amazing is the fact that the reservoir surrounds a giant black hole. Yeah, I think that's a trying to suck you in, as they say, to the black hole. We'll put some water there. More than 12 billion light years away from Earth, the reservoir is more proof that water is pervasive throughout the universe. Okay, the word mussel comes from a Latin term meaning little mouse. And by the way, I want to say hi to Sean, VE3FNI. I don't know if you've come back to the live stream on YouTube yet, but thanks for joining us again there, Max Videodrome. And so let's continue on here. And where am I? Oh, here we are. Okay. Let's see what's next. Bend your arm at the elbow and flex. What do you see when you look at your bicep? The ancient Romans apparently saw the resemblance of a tiny rodent, which is why it's called a mussel, a word derived from the Latin term musculus, meaning little mouse. There you go. Tic Tac mints are named after the sound their container makes. An open mint white Tic Tac box resting on a wooden table. Okay. In 1970, Ferrero was looking to replace Refreshing Mints as the name of its now iconic mini mouth fresheners. Instead of going with a similarly straightforward approach, the brand says the name we all know now was inspired by the tick and the tack sounds heard when you open and close the little plastic container the mints come in. Okay, peanuts can be used to make dynamite. Oh, I gotta read this one. Obviously, peanuts are a tasty snack, as long as you're not allergic to them, that is. But did you know they can also be used to make dynamite? When extracted, peanut oil can be turned into glycerol, which can then make nitroglycerin, an unstable explosive substance used in dynamite. In a safer state, glycerol is also used for soaps, creams, and various food products. An 11-year-old is responsible for naming Pluto. No, not the cartoon, the planet. In 1930, the Royal Astronomical Society, RAS, was struggling to come up with a name for a newly discovered planet. They considered Minerva, Zeus, Atlas, and Persephone, but it was an 11-year-old Venetia Burney Fair who suggested Pluto, inspired by the god of the underworld. When the idea eventually reached RAS with the help of the girl's connected family, her librarian grandfather knew many astronomers, and they loved it and ultimately decided to use the suggestion. An 11-year old. There you go.
VE3 KCI.
Oh my goodness, I hear VE3 KCI. Art, is that you? Well, thanks for joining us there, Art. Joining us a little bit late there tonight.
Yeah, I haven't been feeling well. I had a case of the flu, and
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's been going around. Same with me there. A couple of days, it was kind of feeling pretty blah, and had the sniffles, and blowing the nose, sneezing, and but I don't feel so bad today. But yeah, I think I've already had two colds this season. All right. Well, thank you for joining us nonetheless. Better late than never, right?
Yep.
All right, Art, are you going to stick around and listen to the rest of the net?
I'll try.
Okay, my friend. Well, if you got to get out and say goodbye, just key up there when there's a break, and we'll say goodnight. All right. So with that, let's do another shout out. Art is number 13 in my log, so we broke that. Let's see who else would like to join us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. All right. I see Max Videodrome has responded and saying hello. Hope all is well with you there, Sean. Thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure. Let's see now. Armadillos swallow air to become more buoyant when they swim. When armadillos go swimming, they don't need a flotation device to keep them from sinking. They are the flotation device. To stay afloat, the creatures swallow air to make themselves buoyant. Isn't that the same as holding their breath? Or they're swallowing air. It's a different story. They also have another option, which involves expelling air so they can sink and walk across the bottom of a body of water. That's pretty cool. The city of Melbourne, Australia wants to take care of its trees. So much so that in 2013, they assigned each one an email address so the public could report any problems like dangerous branches that they noticed and so on. However, instead of sending messages about issues, people began writing love letters to the trees. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, let me find one more, and then we're going to go to On This Day in History. Apparently, on Mars, sunsets are blue. There's a Russian village where every resident is a tightrope walker. Wow, got to be a small village. Domino's Japan trained reindeer to deliver pizza. Back in 2016, Domino's Japan wanted reindeer to do a little more than just pull Santa's sleigh. They wanted the animals to deliver pizzas to hungry customers. The company released a video of employees tying pizzas to the animals' backs and said customers would be able to track their pies via GPS. So you got to go outside and chase down a reindeer for a pizza strapped to the reindeer. Guess that didn't go well. Okay, one more. Finally, the world record for the tallest stack of donuts totaled more than 3,000. Measuring almost 5 feet tall, the pyramid shaped tower was made up of 3,100 donuts. According to Guinness World Records, the structure was designed on a number of different software products to ensure its structural integrity. The organizers behind the project enlisted the help of a structural engineer and architect who eventually concluded a pyramid shape would give them the best combination of stability and height. All right, so we're going to put a stop to that for now, and we'll pick that up next week and see what other interesting things we can find. Do we have any questions or comments or check-ins for this week's AREG Net? Please come now.
As I get done coughing, VE3LBI.
VE3LBI. Larry, come on in. Where you been? It's 9 after.
You were talking too long.
Oh, I come up for a break there pretty often. But anyways, that's okay. Yeah, very good. You're number 14 tonight there, Larry.
Oh, good. Yeah, I know Bill had a couple of slow nights there too, and last Friday was a little slow, so the weather, Easter, all the rest of it going on. So, and yeah, I don't think we're gonna have to build an ark. I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's not raining that hard. It hasn't rained really, more than a little steady drip down here. It's nothing, really. I've seen much, much worse as a steady rainfall, but nonetheless, here we are. But it's the white stuff I'm worried about.
Don't think we're gonna get any, Chuck, and if we do, it won't last long. And by the way, I was able to flash that radio with that information you gave me, so it worked quite well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I meant to get back to you there. I did hear you say that on the net. And so, good, very good. So, what do you think?
Got a lot of functions. Haven't had an opportunity really to play with it a lot, but quite a few different functions in it, that's for sure. I think it added, I think it was 10 more. Yeah, I think it had 50 menus, and I think it went up to 60, somewhere around that area or something.
Yeah, and then there's a secret menu you can access by holding one of the side buttons and the push to talk button, and that will give you an extra 9 menus. It goes up to 69 in total.
Okay, well, I'll work on the first 60 first. When I get to the next 9, I'll let you know.
Yeah, you're right. There is a lot. It's a lot once you get it, just to explore all the different functions and features. It's a lot of fun for, $30.
Well, you can't beat it. I mean, well, I paid just a little bit over 20 for mine because I was a first-time buyer for AliExpress. But anyways, no, it's quite an interesting little radio. Had a little bit of fun playing with it. Like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time. I just did the flash yesterday. Used the chirp to put a couple frequencies into it just to test it.
Yeah, and Wade finally received his mod kit for his Quanchang there, which will open it up to 20 meters and up. And so he's got some serious magnifying to do and get set up for that. So I think it'll take a little bit there for him before he attempts to do that. It's a lot of fine soldering.
Yep, well, sounds interesting. We'll see how you make so. All right, I'll pass it back to you and I'll listen along here. VE3, I'll be out.
All right, and I stand corrected, Larry. I forgot to add Sean, VE3FNI in Mississauga. He's also joining us on YouTube. For those just tuning in, you can also follow us on YouTube. The net is streamed there so that people that can't hear all the stations on their radio can hear what I hear through the YouTube stream. So just put in my call, VA3CJZ, into the YouTube search box there, and you can find us there live. And drop in, say hi. Okay, anyone else out there would like to check in, please come now.
VA3XLJ.
There he is, VA3XLJ Mobile, I do believe. Come on in, Vanya.
Hello, Chuck, and everybody on that. So a quick check-in. It's my daily commute to work, I guess. So I'm kind of probably just across the lake from you, or whatever that thing is. Thing there, Bay, I guess. So just before the Skyway Bridge. So not much to report. I was looking at the weather forecast for the next Monday, and it doesn't look like it's gonna be good. But there's many days in between, so hopefully something's gonna change. They're announcing the cloud cover in our area, including the Buffalo Niagara Falls and around there somewhere. Anyways, back to you.
Yeah, it's all about timing. Last I checked, they said full sunny day on Sunday, and Monday was going to be sun mixed with clouds. So we'll see, or we won't see. But it will definitely be on the air. Somebody with a great camera and vantage point. We have satellites. We have everything. I'm sure it will be recorded. If I'm not mistaken, 1970 was the last time it passed over us.
I honestly don't know. Like, I remember when I was a kid back home, like this, like maybe late 70s, early 80s, there was the good spots to be, like maybe 50, 60 kilometers from city I lived in. I remember seeing that on the news because that's what you get. The communists only show you the news on time, and everything else is a spotty TV service. But anyways, so I remember they were talking about it for a while and showing the people coming from all over the place with the telescopes to see the what I call it sun apocalypse, but it's I can't even remember the word on English now. Anyways, so that's the last time I was close to it, and a little while ago, a few years back, there was the one. It was down south, but I lucked out on that one. I didn't have any vacation left with my old employer, so we never went. But I was all pumped up to go anyway. So back to you, Chuck.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking I probably experienced one or two during the 80s because I traveled throughout most of Canada and the U.S. When I was working with the carnival, and I must have had it happen. I just don't remember the 80s that well. But anyways, very good there, Vanya. Well, you picked a good time to check in there, heading up the Skyway Bridge. You're coming in great there, my friend. So going in for the night shift, are you?
Yeah, the night shift. 2 more days. I think today and tomorrow, if I got the calendar right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Well, thanks for checking in, Vanya. Anything new and exciting? I think you were talking to Jason. I saw on Discord there with Parks on the Air. Is that right?
I did talk. I made that QSO to the Jason in Texas. When was this? Like a Monday or whenever it was, and
Yeah.
it worked out well. I could hear there was a bit of the QSB, so it would the come from low to much stronger, and it would fade away. But he called me back, and I was really happy to make that QSO. Like, and that day he was the furthest QSO which I made from my park to his park. I never get a chance to ask him how many watts he was working with, but most likely 10 or I don't know, not more than 20 anyway.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him that there next time we get in touch with him and see how much power he was using. I'm surprised he's probably enjoying himself. The sun is down, but uh, yeah, Texas, the U.S. isn't that warm right now. I was looking at the weather network showing all the sunny destinations there, but it was still, just above 20 in most of Florida, except for the very tip, Miami, and even Texas, mid low 20s for temperature. So, but oh yeah, it does get hot and it gets cold at night in Texas. Let me tell you, days are hot and the nights are cold. But anyways, congratulations, Vanya, for making contact.
Yeah, thank you, Chuck. It was just a fluke that I was in a park, and to be honest, like I was ready to close up shop. Like I keep calling like CQ for like, I don't know 10 minutes, let's say, and the nothing, and it was closing my the look, and that thing the popped out, and like that he's calling on a CQ. I recognize this call sign, and it took me like 10 minutes calling back before he got answer back, but it was good anyway. So that was my experience with that event. I was kind of happy to hear him. Anyways, back to you, Chuck.
Okay, well, before we go, whereabouts were you?
Just other end of the downtown Burlington, so by the Cubby's Emma Porch, or whatever the place was called.
Oh, okay. Well, so I guess you're the first one because he left like Sunday night, I think, and so you must have been his first contact from here, from home.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I kind of now like I don't want to feel lucky, but it's remember when the Pierre a little while ago they went for the road trip to BC and back, and I got him in Manitoba one day, so it was just it happened to be, and worked out well. Like I was able to hear him, and we could hear on a his vacation when he went the back to back, not back to back, like east to west coast the vacation like a few months ago, or sometime last year, anyway.
All right, that's fantastic. Okay, Vanya, we're starting to get a little choppy there, so we'll let you concentrate on driving, and you have yourself a great evening. And thank you so much for checking in, my friend.
7-3 Chuck, and 7-3 to all of you guys, and it's still Friday night, I guess.
All right, stay safe, my friend. We'll talk to you again soon. And so we'll clear with Victor Alpha 3, X-Ray Lima Juliet, Vanya in the mobile, heading to work. And I see Bill here is VE3IUK is telling me that I was correct about 1970 being the last time we had an eclipse here. So thank you for that, Bill, that information. I can always count on you for either affirming or correcting me. So thanks again. And so very good. You too. Here we go. All right. Let's do one more call out. Anyone else out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly AREG net, this is VA3CJZ.
VA3DGA.
VA3DGA. Dave's gone amateur. Come on in, Dave.
VA3CJZ, net control, VA3DGA, good evening to you and all on net. I'm mobile, coming back from St. George, and I was able to hear the net come in, break and squelch. I'm going to say near Troy, where that Donsver pottery is, and a little bit further west. And I'm now near Brock Road on Highway 5, and I hear you loud and clear. And there's an ambulance, so we'll be paying attention to what they need to do. But thank you for letting me check in the net and say hello from my mobile location.
Okay, very good, Dave. I'll have to look Troy up on the map there, but that sounds like it's a good ways away that you were picking me up, I'm guessing. And so thank you for taking the time and letting us know, and of course, for checking in, Dave.
Fine business. Yes, it was you that I heard the strongest. You were speaking to a couple of stations, but for sure, I think you were speaking to Vanya there at one point. But yes, thank you for letting me check in. And best wishes to all on net. And I guess we'll throw it back to you, and I'll go back to listen mode with you. VA3CJZ, VA3DGA, back to you, Mr. Net Control.
Thank you very much for joining us, Dave. By the way, this is AREG week 1594. That's 1,594. 6 more weeks, and we hit 1,600. 1,600 weeks of AREG. Thank you for joining us, Dave. You are check-in number 17, along with everyone who checked in here on the radio and those who checked in on our YouTube stream. If you're just tuning in, we do stream the net on YouTube, so you can hear stations that you can't hear on your radio. You tune in to YouTube, and you hear what I hear. And so with that, let's see if anyone else is out there that would like to join us here on the weekly AREG net. This is VA3CJZ. Okay, nothing heard. Let's go to our on this day portion of the net. It is currently 9:24 p.m. and I'm seeing 4.8 degrees Celsius out on my front porch. And so let's go to on this day, week 162. That's how many weeks I've been doing on this day. And we'll start off with famous birthdays on April 3rd. And we'll start with Bud Fisher. Born on this day in 1885, he's an American cartoonist. You may remember Mutt and Jeff, the old, very, very old comic strip. It came out in 1907, as a matter of fact. But Bud Fisher is responsible for Mutt and Jeff, and he was born in 1885 in Chicago, Illinois, passing away in 1954. Next, Doris Day. Doris Day was born on this day in 1922. Sadly, she passed away a few years ago in 2019. Doris Day did it all. She was an American singer, actress, dancer, animal welfare activist, and an actress known as the Girl Next Door. Famous movies, Pillow Talk. The other one, The Man Who Knew Too Much. She was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. Our next famous person is Marlon Brando, the Godfather. Marlon Brando was born on this day in 1924, passing away in 2004. Of course, he's an American actor that was in the movie The Godfather, also A Streetcar Named Desire, and a whole bunch more. Born in Omaha, Nebraska. Next, we have Earl Lloyd. Earl Lloyd, born on this day in 1928. He is the first African American basketball player in the NBA. Doesn't say what year, but he was born in Virginia. Passed away in 2015. Next, we have Jane Goodall, turning 89 years old today. She was born in 1934, and she's a British primatologist, anthropologist, and she's a writer. One of her famous books is My 30 Years with the Chimpanzees of Gombe. She was born in London, England. Sticking with old comics and cartoons, Petunia Pig was born on this day in 1937. Petunia Pig, Warner Brothers cartoon character created by Frank Tashlin with Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies series. 1937. Of course, she's a counterpart to Porky. And so she first debuted in Porky's Romance. Next, celebrating a birthday is Jeff Barry, born in 1938. He's an American pop songwriter. He wrote the songs Do Diddy, Diddy Dum Diddy Do. And then he also wrote Da Do Ron Ron and Chapel of Love and Leader of the Pack. I remember all those songs. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. Jeff Barry. Next, we have Rick Sylvester, born on this day, 1942. Hollywood stuntman, parachute ski jumper, holds a world record of 3,300 feet. Parachute ski jumper. I'll have to check that out. Wayne Newton, Mr. Las Vegas, celebrating a birthday today. He was born in 1942. American singer and entertainer. Born in Norfolk, Virginia. Another singer born on this day in 1944, Tony Orlando. His real last name is Cassavitis. Cassavitis. Anyways, yeah, Tony Orlando's better. Of course, he's an American pop singer, famous for the song Tie a Yellow Ribbon and Knock 3 Times. Born in New York City. Alec Baldwin turns 65 years old today. Born in 1958. American Emmy Award winning actor. He's been on too many things to mention. He's also going through some problems after he killed the director of his movie that he's shooting by accident. Pointed the gun and the director got it. So that's still ongoing. Eddie Murphy turns 62 years old today, born in 1961. We all know Eddie Murphy. He's an American comedian and actor. He was on Saturday Night Live from 1980 to 84. In the movies 48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cop, and a bunch more. Born in Brooklyn, New York. Jenny Garth is 51 years old today, born in 1972. You may remember her from Beverly Hills 90210. She was born in Champaign, Illinois. Next, Kobe Smulders is 41 years old. Kobe Smulders is born in 1982. She's a Canadian actress. She was on How I Met Your Mother And she was also in the Avenger movies as Nick Fury's right-hand man or woman. Born in Vancouver, British Columbia. Kobe Smulders. And finally, the last person on my list, we have Paris Jackson, born in 1998 on this day. American actress and daughter of Michael Jackson, born in Los Angeles, California. So she turns 26 years old already. That's it for famous people's birthdays on this day. Do we have any comments, questions, or check ins for this week's AREG Net? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ. Famous deaths on April the 3rd in history. First person is Jesse James. He was shot on this day in 1882. Jesse James was an American outlaw and son of a clergyman, shot dead in the back of the head, actually, at the age of 34 by a fellow gang member, Robert Ford. If I'm not mistaken, he was also related to him somehow. I think he was a second cousin or something. Jesse James, this was in St. Joseph, Missouri. In 1971, Joseph Valachi dies at the age of 66, American gangster. Remember the Valachi papers they talked about in the 70s? Well, he died in 1971. Next, we go to the year 1981, and passing away is Juan Trippe, Trippe. He's an American airline pioneer and entrepreneur who founded Pan Am Airlines. In 1981, he dies at the age of 81. So there you go. And finally, we have the drummer for Lynyrd Skynyrd passing away on this day in 2015, Bob Burns. He died in a car crash and he was 64 years old. And that's it for famous people passing away on this day in history. Any questions or comments or check ins for the net? Please come now. All right, 1 second.
Time's up.
I need some coffee. There we go. All right, so let's go to events on this day in history. And we'll start with the Pony Express. In 1860, we have the start of the Pony Express. Delivers mail by horse and rider relay teams between St. Joseph, Missouri and Sacramento, California. That's quite the haul on a horse. Okay. So, and they would always look for very young or skinny people so the horse could ride longer. So it wasn't too much weight on the horse. So kids actually did the Pony Express. A couple of famous people in history did too as well. I can't remember who, but there are some notable famous people, maybe Daniel Boone or something. I forget who, but along those lines, because this is back in 1860. All right. Okay, next we go to the year 1882, and the wood block alarm is invented. When the alarm rang, it dropped 20 wood blocks. I'll have to look that one up. That's interesting. Where am I here? There we go. Yeah, 1882, the wood block alarm. Man, that would make some people jump right out of bed, I'm sure. Okay, let's go to the year 1910. The highest mountain in North America is Alaska's Mount McKinley, claimed to have been first climbed by 4 local men. So the tallest mountain in North America is Alaska's Mount McKinley. And that's back in 1910. They say 4 local men climbed it. Interesting. 1917, Vladimir Lenin arrives in Petrograd, returning to Russia from exile in Switzerland. Vladimir Lenin became interested in Marxism while at university and was later exiled to Siberia for sedition. After traveling through Europe, Lenin returned to Russia to join the 1917 Russian Revolution. Oddly enough, my next story is the rise of Joseph Stalin. In 1922, Joseph Stalin is appointed General Secretary of the Russian Communist Party by annihilling Vladimir Lenin. So there you go. Next, we have the liquid-fueled rocket. In 1926, on this day, second flight of a liquid-fueled rocket by Robert Goddard. Now, Goddard is a big name in the aerospace industry. Very big name. Kind of like Lockheed Martin back in those days. All right, 1929 is the year on this day. The RMS Queen Mary is ordered to be built from John Brown and Company Shipbuilding, alongside with the RMS Queen Elizabeth. All right, the year is 1930. The Montreal Canadiens versus the Boston Bruins. Stanley Cup Final, Montreal Forum, Montreal, Quebec. The Montreal Canadiens beat Boston Bruins 4-3 for a 2-0 series sweep and their third championship. So I guess it was the best out of 3 back in 1930. Okay, next we have 1930 is the first airplane flight over Mount Everest. (1933). Okay, next, still in 1933, the longest North American hockey game required a 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 46 seconds overtime as Maple Leaf Ken Doherty scores to beat the Canadiens 1-0. They haven't won since. This is back in 1933. I had to. Okay, let's jump to 1941. On this day, April 3rd, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill warns Soviet leader Joseph Stalin that a German invasion is imminent, and sure enough, he was right. The Germans did invade Russia. Okay, let's go to 1945 now. World War II, of course. The Dutch city of Hengelo, that's spelled Hengelo, Hengelo, is freed from Nazi control by the Canadian Army. So, April 3rd, 1945. That's why the Dutch love us so much.
We did that.
And that's why all the tulips that come that we have on Parliament is from the Dutch. Every year they send us bulbs. Ever since. All right, next. If you break it, you bought it. On this day in 1948, U.S. President Harry Truman signs the Marshall Plan to rebuild war-torn Western Europe after World War II, granting an initial $5 billion in aid to 16 European countries. I added that extra, if you break it, you bought it thing. Who here remembers the TV Guide? On this day, 1953, American magazine TV Guide, excuse me, publishes the very first issue. And the cover features a photo of Lucille Ball's newborn baby boy, Desiderio Alberto Arnaz IV, later professionally known as Desi Arnaz Jr. 1960, April 3rd, Elvis Presley records It's Now or Never and Are You Lonesome Tonight at RCA Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. 4 years later, 1964, the Beatles hold the top 6 spots on Sydney, Australia record charts. And in 1967, I was a little too young to remember that, but 113 East Europeans attending the World Amateur Hockey Championships in Vienna asked for political asylum. 113. Wow. In 1973, we have the first mobile phone call is made in downtown Manhattan, New York by a Motorola employee, Martin Cooper, to the Bell Labs headquarters in New Jersey. The first, I'm sure it was a brick. I think that was the very first cell phone. This is going to make you wish you invested in gold a long time ago. In 1974, gold hits a record $197 an ounce in Paris. Today, in the States, it's actually $2,300. Or is that Canadian? I forget now. But it's $2,300 today compared to $197. Okay, still with the year 1974, we have the super outbreak, the second largest tornado outbreak over a 24-hour period with 148 confirmed tornadoes in 13 U.S. states, killing approximately 315 people and injuring about 5,500 more. 2 years later, 1976, April 3rd, Philadelphia Flyers win a record-tying 28th straight NHL home game. Wow. You don't hear about that too often anymore. 20th. And only one more team, I guess, because they tied with another team. It doesn't say who. But nonetheless, that's great. And then 1 year later, 1977, the Boston Bruin Jean Rattel scores his 1,000th NHL point. I remember Jean Rattel. He was a good player. Let's go to racing. In 1987, on this day, Bill Elliott sets NASCAR qualify record of 212.8 miles per hour at Talladega. That's actually quite fast. Most people don't break 210. So, yeah. All right, 2006, Steve Yzerman scores his final NHL goal, and that is number 692 against the Calgary Flames. Okay, I'm going to save this one for last. Let's go to 2020. United States aircraft carrier Captain Brett Crozier is cheered off his ship after being fired for a letter demanding more help for his sailors infected with COVID-19. He got fired for asking for help. Nice. And one more in 2023, a year ago today, NASA announces the 4 astronauts for the 2024 Artemis 2 lunar mission around the moon, which is Christina Hammock Koch, Victor Glover, Reed Wiserman, and Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen. And for my last bit, we go to the year 2007. Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards denies saying he smoked his father's ashes in an interview with some NME, whoever that is. So there you go. Now you have it. That's it for On This Day in History. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Retelling it back to you fine folks. Do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins? Please come now.
B3BK.
Hey, VE3BK. You either woke up or you remembered. Come on in, Rick.
Yeah, I had a busy day, and a latecomer, a latecomer, I think it was last time I checked in. So, but anyway, I did enjoy. I heard some of this day in history, and it's always good to hear that. So, hello to everybody on here. Kind of late getting in here, and but I had a busy day. What can I say? Still trying to get my income tax program to work. That's a bit of a job, I'm telling you. I don't know. I think I have a glitch in the program or something. It keeps telling me that I got errors, and then I go back, and I don't have any errors. So I don't know what the heck's going on. But anyway, it's that time of year. Make sure you get your income tax done. And nothing else here to say to report there. Chuck, anyway, I did make it in here. Was Art in here today?
As a matter of fact, I think he just keyed up the same time I just did there. Why don't you go ahead and give him a shout there, Rick?
Yeah, okay, thanks. V3KCI, V3KCI, are you in there?
I sure am. Good to hear you, BK. We missed hearing you earlier, but I mean, yeah, better late than never.
Yeah, well, that's what I figured too. And, geez, I almost forgot. I had a busy day, like I said, and when I got home, well, somebody else was driving me, so we were lucky there. And, but, so when I got home, boy, I'm tired. Anyway, I was up early today, too. So, how are you, and did anybody come by yet? Oh, okay, somebody's going to be coming. That's good. Okay, very good. Okay, well, thanks for letting me in there, Chuck, and anyway, better late than never, I guess. Anyway, well, that's what happens too with the net on Monday night. Sometimes people check in at the last minute, you know. When I'm going to go to 10 and they're checking in on 80, and I've actually missed some people because of that. But that's the way it goes with nets anyway. So anyway, Art, you take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you later. And over to you, Chuck, VA3CJZ, V3BK.
Yeah, and BK, you take care too, you know. Well, without you on the air,
well, yeah, you got to talk to somebody. Yeah, okay, well, we got to get that ZOE working there for you. Then you can get out there and talk to everybody. So, anyway, okay, we better turn back to Chuck and finish up. And anyway, Chuck, I did catch some of that, so that was good. I got in here in time to hear some of it anyway, this day in history. So, back to you. VA3CJZ, V3BK.
yeah, BK, say hello to the missus for me.
Roger will.
Okay, very good then. Glad you guys were able to say hi to one another there. And yeah, it'd be nice if somebody could set it up so that all he does is press a button and goes either to VFO or hit a memory button or whatever there to be able to get to ZOE and on this frequency as well. So you'll have a lot of fun once we get him on ZOE. Uh, you know, uh, he'll be able to hit that repeater no problem.
Oh yeah, and there'll be lots of people that talk to on there.
Absolutely. All right. So before I start the last call round there, I might as well go right ahead there and start with Art. And thanks for sticking around, Art. And I hope we get you squared away soon there, my friend.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Chuck, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to thank the TV guy who used to know the commentator who used to write all the articles for the TV guide. His name was Tim Winston. Well, just like that, nice history talking to him. Okay, talk to you later.
Okay, Art. Thanks again. And yeah, you're right. A TV guide was on everyone's coffee table. No matter where you went, everyone had a TV guide. Very popular magazine. Okay, Art. Take care, my friend, and have a great rest of the week. Don't look up at the sun on Monday unless you have protective glasses. So we'll clear with VE3 Kilo Charlie India. Art up on the mountain. And with that, let's go to the top of the list and continue our 7-3 round with VA3 AXJ Downtown Rick.
VA3 CJZ, VA3XJ. Yeah, good night there, Chuck. Enjoyed it. I just gotta wait now till Friday and take Killer to the vet. I gotta buy caps, little caps for when they cut the nails. They said they're gonna cap them. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Glue them? I don't know. No idea. But anyhow, yeah. Thanks for doing the net. And yeah, we're gonna be signing off. We're gonna be QRT VA3XJ. We're gone.
Okay, Rick. Well, you know, it's better to try doing something like that than to declaw the poor animals, right? So I don't think I've ever been in favor of that. So anyhow, you take care, rest up, my friend, and wish you a speedy recovery on your arm.
They don't declaw them no more. They say it's inhuman, whatever they call it there. They don't do it no more.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so they finally figured another way. Very good. I'm glad. Okay, Rick, take it easy, my friend. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed yourself. And we'll say 7-3. Let's see if Pierre is still with us. VE3 BMO. How about Debbie? VA3 OYL.
I am here. I finished my snack. I hope we don't get lots of snow. It's winter just keeps hanging on. Anyway, good net. Thanks for all the hard work you do there, Chuck. And keep up the good work. I'll say 7-3 to all. Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Yankee Lima.
Okay, Deb, thanks for joining us and sticking around. Much appreciated. And good luck with your event there. I'm sure your friend will appreciate that. Next, let's go to Mac, VA3 IMW.
There we go. Another one in the books there, Chuck. Great job, as usual. Do you have a rough idea of the, let's say, a selection of parks that are somewhat local that would break you free of this 666 curse?
Oh, I'm sure I can find a park that I haven't got yet there. It's I've just been hanging on to that number. see how long I can keep it. Even though I've been, I think I've pretty much done all the parks in the area here. I haven't really mapped it out, but that's interesting. Yeah, I just got to apply myself there and hit another American station, and uh, I'll get it.
Okay, so just remember that Larry has shared the URL for a really neat tool. I think it's map.pota.ninja. So map.ninja dot, no, that's not right either. Map.pota, yeah. Mike Alpha Papa dot Papa Oscar Tango Alpha dot November India November Juliet Alpha. And that brings you to a page where you type in your call sign and it will look up your activity on Parks on the Air to identify your neighboring parks that you have either worked, activated, or are new to you. So there's a good tool there. And other than that, I'm not going to stick around for very much longer because I'm getting really close to pumpkin hour. Thanks again, Chuck. 7 3s.
Okay, Mac. I actually brought the page up while you were talking there, and I put my call sign in there, but nothing's coming up. So I'll have to work on that. Uh, yeah, it says parks in the map view. There we go. Now it's loading. It's just a little slow because I got a lot of stuff going on, I guess. All right, very good. We're there. Map.pota.ninja. All right, very good, Mac. Well, thank you so much for joining us once again and sticking around. And I didn't even need you for a relay. Art was coming in just great tonight. S4, mind you, but that means I have a low noise floor if I can hear Art at an S4. So very good. All right, there's quite a bit of them there. I'm seeing there, Mac, that I could probably throw out there to you guys. I guess I haven't done them all. Very good. Thanks, Mac.
Yeah, suddenly I feel like the cow standing at the door, Roger.
Yeah, okay. I'll have a closer look at that after the net, but thanks again. All right, so let's bring in Wade, VA3NCA.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA, good evening, Chuck, and thanks so much for running it again, as usual. Another successful Wednesday in the books, and thanks for running the AREG, and always enjoyable. Nothing much else to add, so I'll say my 73s to all, and to all a good night. Back to you there, Chuck, VA3NCA.
Okay, Wade, thanks a bunch again for checking in and for all the info that you provided earlier as well. And so you have a great rest of the week, and maybe we'll catch you on the weekend down the log, as they say. Okay, so we'll clear with Wade, and my next check-in. Well, of course, we had Wayne B. Thank you so much from Mississauga, VA3FMB. Bill, VE3IUK, VE3KKP, and VE3FNI. And Mark, all checking in on YouTube. Thank you so much. And next, well, let's see if KKP is around his radio. VE3KKP. All right, let's try Tom. VA3 Tango Mike. All right, well, I know KMQ doesn't stick around, so we'll skip over him. I'm not sure if Thomas will be here. He's got to get up early in the morning. VE3CEU, are you still there? And then we had Peter, VA3 Papa Foxtrot, heading to work. Peter, are you still around? VE3 LBI.
We're still here. Just listen along. I just wondered how Mac made out with his furnace.
Let's ask him.
Operation is finally back together.
Okay, so it's up and going again?
Roger, roger.
I bet there's some people out there that live a little missing a bit of their hide, are they?
Well, I'm certainly glad that I have a non-electronic gas fireplace, so I can just twist the knob and not freeze.
Yeah, but at least they got the furnace back in order. So, all right, I was curious after I heard you say last night it had quit. Anyways, okay, I won't tie it up. Chuck's trying to wrap it up. Maybe I'll catch you on a ZOE before you go to bed. VE3LBI, thanks for doing it, Chuck.
All right, Larry, thank you for your check-in, adding to my list here. Okay, so we'll clear with VE3LBI, and we had Sean FNI on YouTube. Thanks again, Sean. Vanya's on his way to work, or if not, he's probably there, but let's try him. Victor Alpha 3, X-Ray Lima Juliet. Vanya. All right, next we had Dave in the mobile, VA3 Delta Golf Alpha. And finally, we have VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Rick, I know you mentioned the other night there that you might be late, so don't feel bad. You had things to do. That's understandable. But thank you so much for thinking about me and checking in. Rick?
Right. Yeah. Well, you do a great job on this, Chuck, and I know from experience that you do background stuff beforehand to get it all ready, and I've been involved with different things like that, and I know sometimes how much work it can be, and I really appreciate that you do that. So anyway, hey, I got a question for you. AREG net number, what number are we at, and what number was I at?
Okay, we are at week 1594, 1,594 weeks, 6 to go to hit 1,600. And you were check-in number 18. We have a total of 19, but that's someone on the YouTube stream. So, we had a total of 19. I've got you marked down here as number 18.
Okay, very good. Yeah, well, hey, I was number 13 last time I checked it, and remember I was lucky at 13. So, but 18, that's they're doing well. Very good, very good. And I think probably with the stay in history and all that stuff you do is very interesting. A lot of people like to hear that stuff, and I know I enjoy it myself. So 73 to everybody on there, and keep up the good work there, Chuck. VA3CJZ, V3BK.
Very good, Rick. Thank you for the compliment. And it's a bit of work, but it's a lot of fun. And so it keeps me busy. It keeps me out of trouble. And so, amateur radio saved my life, I guess you could say. And I got a question. Is Garbage Day ahead one day this week or no?
Negative. And hey, my wife missed the garbage guy today, so she has an extra bag she has to tag for next week because she thought Monday was holiday. And no, Monday wasn't a holiday. Friday was a holiday.
Yeah.
So regular week. So today was our garbage day.
All right, good to know. And that means I got to go out there and take the garbage out. All right, very good, Rick. Thanks for that. I would have looked it up either way, but I hate when I put it out when you're not supposed to. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for my list. Let's see if we have any stragglers out there that would like to check into the weekly AREG Net, the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
VA3COF.
VA3 Charlie Oscar Foxtrot. Damien, you are lucky number 20. Come on in.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. I had the radio on in the background and thought I'd just give you a quick check-in to just say I was listening. Not too much to report today, just battling the weather on the way home today, and be interesting to see what happens overnight, maybe a little bit of snow over.
Yeah, I wouldn't stress over that. You know, I think I only used the shovel once this year. I actually used the broom to sweep my porch and my steps and the walkway. Good old broom, and that was it for me. But I think I used my shovel once this year. That's a record. So yeah, I don't think it'll be much. I know other parts of the province are getting have been getting hammered lately. So good luck to them. Better them than me. Anyways, Damien, I hope all is well with you, and thank you so much for joining in. And you enjoy the rest of the week, sir.
Thank you, and 73 to you all.
Okay, 7-3. Anyone else out there wishing to join us here on the AREG Net, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. So with that, it's time to say 7-3 from me. One more AREG in the books, and I look forward to doing it all again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. right here on 146.430. And as I mentioned, we had a total of 20 check-ins tonight through the YouTube stream and through the radio. Thank you all so much. It's been a pleasure having you all for this net, as it is every week. Until then, 7-3, VA3, CJZ.
You have a good one too, Chuck. So I won't be able to check in next week. I'll be on afternoon.
All right, Peter, there you are. I did give you a call for the 7-3 round, but I didn't hear nothing. So thank you, my friend. You have a great time at work making all that money.
Yeah, my wife enjoys spending it all. VA3, Papa Foxtrot. On the road here behind big truck.
All right, be safe, my friend. Nice to hear you. Until next time, 7-3, Peter, VA3, Papa Foxtrot. And with that, I'll say 7-3 all.